We're back with the Screen Team on today's Talk 930 KWOC 93.3 FM. The show is being brought to you by Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us, Poplar, Bluff Drywall, and also Fearless Social. I want to remind you to check out the Screen Team on our website, screenteampb.com. You get to check out all of our latest reviews. You can check out links to our past reviews, and you can meet the Screen Team. You can meet Brittany and what kind of movies she likes, Michael as well, and the rest of the Screen Team. So go to screenteampb.com. The next film we have for you on the docket is American Sniper. This film came out, I believe, Christmas of 2014, so it could get into the whole Academy Award race, but it was released nationwide in January of 2015. It's like Jurassic World. It's one of the biggest box office hits of 2015, and this film was directed by Clint Eastwood. It was written by Jason Hall, and it's based on the memoir called American Sniper, the autobiography of Chris Kyle. And the film follows Chris Kyle, his life, and also his family as well. So, Michael, going into this movie, what were your thoughts, man?
I thought it was outstanding. It was one of those movies I actually found myself disappointed that it ended. I just wanted to see more. And that's what I love about Clint Eastwood. In my opinion, he's one of the greatest directors of our time. And he does such an amazing job with storytelling. And what I thought was amazing was how, he's a little bit older than the average military person when you get, like many of us, when we saw the horrific sights of 9/11, he felt that patriotic duty to serve his country, and he was just very naturally gifted with the rifle.
And you see that early on when they do like a flashback with him and his father.
As a child.
He's like an awesome hunter.
But here's the thing: is I really and I hope the other listeners who will be or have been viewers of this movie felt he was human. When he would kill somebody, it wasn't glorified like you see in other movies. He felt it. He almost got sick. And unfortunately, his first kill had to be a child, because unfortunately in that situation with a child with a bomb, protecting his...
War's not pretty.
It's not, and it's horrific. And I think Clint Eastwood did an amazing job implementing that it is not glorious, but yet he was very talented, and he did his best to protect his guys. But also the reality of post-traumatic stress disorder, which commonly veterans come back. They may not lose limbs, but they've lost a lot, psychologically. It was
like almost like a dual movie. You had his...
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Experiences in the military, and then he had his experiences coming back at home.
And I loved, I loved how they touched on that with his wife and the struggles that I think probably the majority of military wives go through.
I was thinking.
Yeah, they come back and they're going to be different. But I loved how the way he figured out how to help himself was to help others. Unfortunately, that led to, you figure that Chris Kyle would, I don't want to give away the ending or anything, but you figure he would have died in battle or something like that. But unfortunately, it didn't happen that way.
Right.
But he was a hero, and in my opinion, all sorts. And I very, very much felt watching this movie it was Academy Award worthy. So
you know what I found very, very interesting about this film? It was funny.
Yeah,
it had some moments.
I wasn't expecting that. You see that a lot with the the playful attitude of the soldiers together, especially during, his boot camp when he first joins the SEALs and stuff like that. And even when Chris goes to the hospital to see one of his, not fallen, but injured soldiers, and they're still jabbing at each other back and forth, and I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a very somber movie all the way through, and it wasn't like that.
What captures the camaraderie of the guys, and
that's what it is.
And that was like, I like when the drill sergeant's like, "How old are you?" Son? He's like 30. He's like 30. You could have fathered half these guys.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a lot of that humor, and
but that was reality humor. It wasn't meant to be comedy humor. That's just what those guys would say in boot camp.
But it's I used to work in a hospital setting, and it's very similar. There's so much tension, and such seriousness going on all the time that humor is like the way that the people involved deal with the tension
Free
and
medicine.
pressure and you know, that kind of thing. I said nurses are some of the funniest people you'll ever want to meet, but they're sick. Sick humor, man.
Yeah.
Sick humor. But that's because of what they have to go through every day.
Right.
Yeah.
And these guys were very similar. You know, you couldn't just be that tense all the time. You got to lighten up and, you know, and that's how they did it, was by poking fun at each other and stuff like that.
So, Brittany, did you like it?
You know, like is a tough word to use. I was intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very intense film. And I'm not used to that level of intensity on a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
And
but I'll be honest. My big thing was and I've told several people afterwards, I honestly didn't think that we fought wars like that anymore. You know, on the ground kind of thing. And you know, you hear in the news and stuff, air attacks and that kind of thing. But there are still those people that are on the ground.
They had to clean
out
stuff and
looking at those people in the eyes and.
Yeah.
You know, and faced with this situation where a child has a bomb and is about to kill his fellow soldiers, and he has to make the decision in that split second. It's a child, but that child's going to kill my fellow soldiers,
right?
And to have to make that kind of choice, I would never, ever want to be in that position.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Well,
can you imagine?
In the movie, like they said that he had the military's record for the most confirmed kills.
Most confirmed
also
kills.
For the longest shot. It was like, what, 2,100 feet or something?
I
do have to say, I do think he's a hero. I mean, it's a strange way to be a hero, but I mean, look at how many lives he saved.
Exactly.
You know, you take one life, but you save 20 lives, or you take one life and you save 50 lives.
And there's no pretty way to put it. You know, that's
it is not something that anybody would ever want to have to decide, but you know, the gentleman that he was in some pretty tough choices, and you know, he did what he had to do, and it affected him very strongly.
You brought up a good point over our break, that you said that you made the mistake of watching it
at night
before you go to bed. Well, but that's the point I want to make.
I didn't sleep for hours because my mind was going crazy.
Yeah.
I was thinking about all these scenarios that he was put in and choices he had to make, and I got chill bumps just talking about it.
Yeah.
I just can't fathom that. But it kept me awake for hours.
And it's our listeners need to understand, it's not a family movie. This is
no. This is not
kids
one for the
movie.
kids.
Yeah, this is a very, very
it's
very realistic.
I thought it was
intense,
very realistic.
War movie.
I think as far as realism, that's probably as real as you can get in portraying a
It's
war.
on the level to me with like Saving Private Ryan, with reality of war, and it is not pretty.
Black Hawk Down too. You ever seen that?
Oh, well, it's an outstanding movie.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine who was there in that situation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And he was actually one of the guys they had talked to before they started making the movie.
Wow.
And the reality of stories, like, he won't talk about a lot of it. Like, he was a sniper for the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
He won't even talk about his record, you know. So it's very difficult for those guys
when
they come back and how it affects them. So I have the utmost respect for our soldiers.
And of course, the acting was unbelievable.
By far, Bradley Cooper's best performance. And I'm glad he's getting the recognition now that he deserves.
Yeah.
He did a great job, and you know, I even thought the lady who played Chris Kyle's wife did a great job. And I'm not a huge fan of hers. Her name is Sienna Miller. She's done a lot of variety of movies, and have never really been a fan, but I thought she did an outstanding job in this film as well. This film was nominated for 6 Academy Awards: Best Picture, Adapted Screenplay, Best Actor, and it won for Best Sound Editing. It's called American Sniper. You can find it right now on DVD. Coming up after the break, we're going to introduce Sabrina J into the mix, and we're going to review Jurassic World. That's next on Today's Talk, 930 KWOC.